So this is the section number 4, on-page optimization. We cover like three sections, and this is section number 4. So what is the on-page optimization? The last section I talked about the SEO writing framework, so you know how to write an article. But what is the next step after publishing the article? What do we do? Writing very good blog is not the end of this optimization, but we have to do something more. So I just want to give a quick recap on the last section. Section 1, Introduction SEO, Search Intent. Section 2, Keyword Research, Basic. Section 3, the Writing Framework. And Section 4, On-Page Optimization. So what is on-page optimization? The on-page optimization refers to improvements made directly on the web page to have search engine understand the content, to have user read, navigate, and trust the content. On-page SEO includes keyword and search intent, page structure, title, heading, content, internal links and images, UX, and trust signal. So after completing the article, we have to move to this step, continue to optimize the article on page. But let's think of wider. Content on the page is not always the blog. We have different types of pages, like school profile, like city state page, like home page, like news page, events page. So all of the content on the website needs to be optimized. In terms of content, I'm going to say content. So on page versus other SEO areas. So in SEO, we have on page, technical, and off page. On page is what user and Google see on the page. Technical SEO is how the website works, the speed, indexation, crawling. The off page is the backlink, the mention, the talking about. So you can see in this right hand side, on page including site content, title, meta description, optimization, the tag optimization, internal linking, image optimization, and many more. So even with strong technical SEO, mean fast loading page, fast page, the structure, data, the site speed, the sitemap, everything. Poor on page equal weak ranking. It means even if your website is good in terms of speed, good in terms of structure, but the content, if the content is poor, is weak ranking, cannot rank high. So how search engine work? This page just repeat the progress of how search engine rank the pages from publishing, crawling, indexing, then ranking. In this ranking step, there are ranking factors, and this ranking factor include on-page, technical, and off-page SEO. That's why the optimization is necessary. So why on-page matters? On-page optimization. Search engine today focus on the search intent, matching, the content clarity and structure, the EEAT signal, the user engagement, which means CTR and readability. On-page optimization directly impact ranking stability, click-through rate, and long-term organic growth. So this is the big picture of the on-page SEO. We have like mind map here. There are keyword targeting, search intent alignment, content depth, quality, internal linking, page structure, image optimization, trust and EEAT signal. All elements must work together, not separately. So this is what on-page SEO is all about. So I will come to first section, keyword and search intent. So this is a typical page. Actually, it's the first article from SEO. This article contains one primary keyword and some secondary and related keywords, one clear topic, and the rule: one page only contains one main topic and one main intent. This is the rule. We cannot have two main keywords or two topics in one article or one page, any page. And other keywords have to support this main topic. This is the keyword. So understanding search intent. Last time I talked about the search intent. Now I just want to quickly repeat. There are 4 types of search intent: informational, navigational, commercial, and transactional. So before writing, always ask, what does the user expect to see on this page? That is search intent. If you have any question, just please ask. So the next one is the page structure and HTML elements. So after writing an article, we have to optimize the title tag and the meta description. So this title tag, what is the title tag? The title tag is the title of the page. It's the key on-page ranking signal that helps search engine understand page relevance and strongly affects click-through rate in search results. As you can imagine, every one of us, when we search anything, most of the time we scan the title of this search result, like this title: support international student in US private high school. So what is the best practice to create this title? We should include the primary keyword here in the title. Be clear, specific, and readable. Avoid keyword repetition and match search intent. In English, Vietnamese, and Thailand, the title tag based on this alphabet letters, the length should be under 60 characters. But in Chinese, Japanese, and Korean, it should be 25 to 30 characters because this is not alphabet. So it's a title. And insights from our last work, analyzing the title tag. We are in the process of changing our title tag and meta description. We discover that we can make the title tag, create a title tag, and most of the time Google will index and display all of the title tag from our creation. So this is very important because we can control this. We can control how we are displayed on the search result page. But the meta description, the fact is that Google usually they design the meta description themselves. When we analyze many meta description from our competitors, most of the time Google changed the meta description. They don't use the meta description from the website's creation, but they change it. So this one is also important, but is 80% out of control. We cannot really control this. So the main strategy here is to fix the title tag and try to write the meta description at our best, but mainly we cannot control this. And what is meta description? It's the description of the page in longer words, are designed to help user understand the page content before click and strongly influence click-through rate. Good meta description should summarize the page clearly and match user intent, encourage clicks without exaggeration. And the length of the meta description should be around 130 to 160 characters for alphabet. For Chinese, Japanese, and Korean, about 65 to 80 characters. Okay. So next one is the URL structure. This is important because the URL is our home address. Changing the URL, it means to change our home address, and we will lose everything. So we will not change the URL. At least it's a must. We don't want to do that because we will lose the ranking. So the URL is the most important things. We should know how to create a SEO friendly URL. Yes, Mr. Z.
Quick question. Uh, so since we have like more than English, right? So we have like, Chinese and, and Vietnamese blogs. So the URL, so should we have like a language specific URL or could we just commonly use English?
Yes, sorry. Can you?
Oh, are you so talking about the URL structure, right? So
Yes.
say for example, we have an article in Chinese or article in Vietnamese or article in English. So should we use the English in the URL structure, or I mean, like it's just so for example, Chinese pinyin or something in the URL structure, or just use the English should be good enough.
Um.
Does
So
that does that make sense? My question.
yeah, I understood. So this how to create friendly SEO friendly URL. It should be short and descriptive, easy to read, keyword focus, avoid long strings, unnecessary parameters, date, and unless truly needed. So we want to create a URL that we don't want to change it over time. So in order to create such URL, we should not use other language like Chinese or French or anything. I mean, we should avoid the punctual, everything just clean alphabet, letters, characters.
Hmm.
Yes, and should avoid the year, the date, and anything that we it can be changed in the future.
Okay.
Yes, and avoid the
Um,
capitalized letter.
Capitalized.
I, I,
Okay.
I- I'm not very clear about that. For example, let me do that. Um, can I wrap up your question, Z? And then I have the same
Sure. Yeah.
concerns too. So your question is that whether the URL should be in, for example, if it's for Chinese market, should it be in pinyin or uh, in Chinese characters, right? For example.
Because when if you use the Chinese character, the browser will translate those character into a number or letter or some symbol.
Mm.
It will not use the Chinese. It have to encode and decode the
Well,
the character.
so for example, if a URL, we have a URL, for example, we have a blog article in Chinese, and then we have a URL for it. For example, like blog about support to international student in U.S. private high schools, but in Chinese. And then the URL for example, it should be in pinyin. Cái bên tiếng Hoa nó sẽ có một cái gọi là phiên âm, bính âm.
Mm.
Thì ví dụ như là mình sẽ có, tức là bên bên cái ký tự tiếng Hoa á, chẳng hạn như nghĩa hò đi đúng không, thì nó sẽ là một cái ký tự tiếng Hoa. Nhưng nếu mà như vậy thì mình sẽ phát sinh ra một cái link là bằng cái bính âm đó. Bính âm thì thường là nó sẽ ký âm bằng cái bạn chữ cái Latin, ý em là như vậy đúng không?
Ý em là nếu mà anh dùng tiếng Hoa á, mà chữ ký tự Hoa á, thì cái trình duyệt
Ừ.
nó sẽ tự động nó đổi sang một cái dạng cái gì đó em cũng không biết nữa, nhưng
Ừ,
mà
ừ,
nó
ừ.
là bao
Nói
gồm.
chung là nó sẽ đổi sang một cái dạng giống như kiểu Unicode, rồi nó
Đúng rồi,
break ra tùm lum, đúng không?
đúng rồi, cho nên là nó sẽ rất là xấu.
Ờ.
Không phải, tức là có những cái trình duyệt thì nó sẽ để nguyên, có những trình duyệt thì nó sẽ đổi, mình không kiểm soát được
Ờ.
cái chuyện đó.
Ờ.
Ờ. So
Ờ.
I
Nhưng mà
will.
trong trường hợp đó, để cho cái người user mà đọc tiếng Hoa đó, thì gọi là mình có như vậy thì em sẽ giải quyết vấn đề đó như thế nào?
Thì mình để chữ tiếng Anh thôi, tốt nhất là để chữ tiếng Anh, hoặc là ví dụ như tiếng Việt có dấu thì mình sẽ ghi là không dấu hết. Còn
Không giấu.
tiếng Hoa thì em nghĩ cứ cố gắng giữ tiếng Anh đi, tại vì Tiếng Anh là dễ nhớ hết, tất cả mọi người đều đọc được, tại vì đâu phải chỉ có người Hoa vào trang tiếng Hoa đâu, sẽ có người nước ngoài họ cũng vào trang tiếng Hoa.
Ok,
Đúng
vậy
không?
thì chắc đó, anh nghĩ là chắc em giải thích lại
Yeah.
cái phần đó.
So I just want to explain again. Mr. Chung asked if we use Chinese character, so what will happen? I just explained that the browser will translate those Chinese or Japanese or Korean character into some sort of Unicode text or something, and it will, some browser will translate, sometime it will not, so it will be messy, and it's not easy to read, not easy to remember, because not all of the Chinese, not all of the people who visiting Chinese pages are Chinese. Maybe they are foreigner, they are from US or somewhere else. So it will not a good practice to use Chinese character.
Got it.
Yeah. So if
I'm sorry. I want to add to this. I have a different take on this, so I just want to ask like Tony, because
yeah,
my impression is the URL is actually really important for like when people search. That's why like in domain name we have finding school, that's give us advantage because school in there, right? When people search school, we have an advantage. This is beyond the page rank. So that's why my always like my impression always like if you have Chinese, if this page is for Chinese users, if the URL match the unlikely in Chinese match what they type in Google search engine, and then our page will have an advantage. So because one thing I worry about, I understand like for the Vietnamese, the character they are similar, but some are different. So that's why we always do is use a different character replace it. We use alphabet, right?
yep,
The pure alphabet like A to Z. But the problem is that will change the meaning of the URL. So when like people search in Vietnamese, that like a phrase is not going to match to our URL. So that's why I would my impression always like try to use the one you want people search for, and they don't worry about encoding because encoding they first of all the URLs they are like a Unicode. So they are Unicode, and then they use like a base 16. So like a bots computers understand that very well. Like a Google bots that understand it. It's like a Chinese. These like that meaning of that. So I would not worry about that. I would worry about more like matching the keywords people search because that will give us. So that's why our like all the URLs on the school profiles all have the name of the school. That's one reason too. Anyhow, that's my impression. Yeah.
yeah. It's all correct, but at the end, the URL will not affect the ranking. Um, it's just the best practice how to use the URL to be friendly for the user and not change over time. You can use any character, Chinese, Japanese. It's okay. It's not the matter of which language affects the ranking from the search engine perspective. They will understand that. This URL is to serve the user how to be easy to read and easy to remember, and should be unified, should be like one type of URL across the site. So it's my experience, my best practice is to keep it alphabet. It's just my experience. You can change anything, but avoid avoid change it in the future. So just use something short and simple, easy to read, easy to remember for because we are global page, we're not just for Chinese. So that's my best practice. You can change, you can use, it's okay to use Chinese. It's okay. Please remember that. Okay. And yeah, if you use Chinese and you have keywords there for Chinese to read, is better. Of course, it's better if they understand in Chinese. That's correct. Yeah. So okay, I will go next. So the heading structure. Last time I talked about this. We have H1, heading 1, heading 2. Heading 1 will be the title. Heading 2 will be the related topic that support the main idea. So heading helps search engines understand the content hierarchy. User can scan the page quickly. So the rules, only one heading 1. Heading 2 mean the main section. Heading 3 supporting subsection. Heading describe meaning, not just style. So that's the end of section 2. Now we move to section 3, content optimization. This one is one of the most important factors that affects all of the websites. We always have two types of content depth and quality: high quality content and thin content. High quality content means to fully answer the main question, the search intent. It means to cover the key subtopic and avoid fluff and repetition. What is thin content? Thin content means lacks depth, repeats obvious information, fails to add real value. Looks simple. It looks simple, but it is not what it is. As I scan and crawl our pages, we have so many thin content page. For example, the page that only have some FAQ, or the page means the URL. When access the URL only have the FAQ or some reviews or some very minimal content, like some city or stage page. We have many thin content than we know. That's when I crawled pages, I saw that. And Google, their algorithm was designed to look at all of the pages and will evaluate our website based on the ratio between the number of high quality content and the number of thin content. So if we have like many good quality content, but when our page, our website operation, it can produce like the thin content page, the ratio of the FAQ page or reviews page or some page with no content or less content. That is very dangerous, and we should avoid that. And we should keep the ratio between the high quality content and thin content good ratio. So that's it. Thin content. Content formatting for user. We can improve the readability. Readability is a metric that is used to measure how easy to read the page. How to improve? We use the short paragraphs, adding bullet points, highlight key ideas, leaving the white space. The good formatting improves the user engagement, time on page, and overall content quality. This white space is good practice, and I think our website keep this formatting very well, I think. The natural keyword placement. So when we write an article, we have to place the keyword all over the article. The importance of this is high because when analyze a page, it is very important to it's not easy because not too many keywords is not good, and too few keyword is also not good. So we have to keep the keyword density in balance. And for example, we have to put keywords in heading 1. We have to keep keyword in the image outer text, image file name. This is the image optimization. When you write blog, it's not just downloading an image and uploading it on a website, but we also have to keep to optimize the image, the photo, by the size, the metadata, the alt text, the image file name. When I published an article on our CMS, it took me about 1 hour. It's not simple task, many small things to optimize. For example, in the image alt text, we have to keep one main keyword there, and also in the image file name, I have to use tools to change the file name of the image also. And we have to put the keyword in the first 100 words, and have to keep keywords in the heading number 2, etc. Never force it. Keep it natural. And clarity always comes first. So it's the end of section 3. Section number 4, internal linking and media. Internal linking. This is very easy to understand. We have, like, this is a page selling clothes. We have the home page. We have the tops. Under the top we have search 1, search 2. We should internal link from search to bottom, but we should not internal search to short, because it is not useful linking. People search, they can use the bottoms, because when they want to buy a search, they want to know about bottom, but it's not search. Search is subtopic of the bottom, and so on. So internal links helps user discover related content. Search engine understand the content relationship, the structure of our website, the topic we cover, the relation of all of it, and this helps the search engine understand our entity, what makes us us. The best practice: links to relevant article, descriptive anchor text, avoid excessive linking. This internal linking is very important. So this is an example. This article, we have the web school name here, and so we link it, internal link it to the web school profile. For example, this continue exploring helpful resource, check out more. So we have more blocks here, is to navigate the user to more content. This internal linking. There's a many case I did, like just improve internal linking, improve it will have very big effects on the ranking, because it have used Google understand our website more, the context. And image optimization. Yeah, I talked about. We have to use clear file names, which includes the main topic here, main keyword, descriptive alt text, relevant visual, and reasonable file size. And also we have to carefully do the copyright issue for image, because if our page rank well, for example position 5, and some people discover our page use some not copyright, we don't have the right to use the image, they can report to Google, and then Google will unindex our page, that page, and they will consider who wins. We have to fight for that. But if we win, even if we win, our page are out of index, and we have to do the SEO from 0. So we don't want to do that. So section 5, EEAT. Last time I talked many things about this, but now I will explain more for you to understand what is EEAT. One of the main topic to cover in our 2026. EEAT was released by Google. Its definition is experience, expertise, authoritativeness, trustworthiness. It's a framework used by Google in quality rating guidelines to judge the content quality. The trust, the T, is the most important thing. Experience, expertise, and authoritativeness will support the trust. And the final purpose of doing all of this SEO thing is to build trust. So in the AI era, strong EEAT helps rank in Google and also cited by AI Summarized. So next one, what is experience? Experience is the experience of the writer, experience of the website, the company. So what is it? It's a real life involvement of the author. For example, what it looks like in writing, a specific conversation or interview the writer did. Last time I remember I read an article, a very good article of the summer program on Google. At the beginning of the article, the writers wrote due to his experience in something. I don't remember anything, but I just remember he wrote something related to his experience. Just that word made it all. It looks like human, not from AI, and it looked more trust. So second one is observation from school visit, web, something real, something the writer, the author already experienced. So how to add it? Add in short reporting, conversation, mini anecdote, what parent asked, what the school answer, some real events happened in the past. For example, Mr. James Arthur spoke with Jeff Beaton, Chief Enrollment Manager of Chord, about what Asian family most often ask during school research, academic, dorm supervision, and communication with parents. This is the example of using experience. It's very important. And another example of adding first-hand experience to an article right here is little small. I will speak out, read it out. In our work with international family at Finding School, we often hear that academic adjustment in their biggest concern. That is an experience of Sue writing this article done correctly. And the next factor is expertise. It means the knowledge and skill of the author. Again, the first one is experience. The next one is expertise. Expertise means not something real, but the ratio of the knowledge the writer put in the content, the density of the knowledge and correct knowledge, what it looks like clear definition and correct terms like ESL or EAL, boarding versus day school, advisor versus counselor, step by step, etc. So how to write it? We can include like how it works section. We can include comparison table. We can include what parents should ask, frequency asked question. It is not frequency asked question of the parent to the user, to the author, but to the school. If like we can provide some answer for some question that the parent can use to ask the school. Yes, that is expertise, knowledge. This is the example. Written by Sue, an international education specialist at Finding School. It proves she is knowledgeable. She is expert. Like from Mr. James' article, I used the quotes from him. The moment students feel understood, not just talk, the confidence rises, and that's when the real learning begins. That is the expertise of Mr. James. This part demonstrates both experience and expertise. Sometimes it's mixed between. Yeah, there are more examples. But it means the knowledge. And authoritativeness. This one, you just simplify by, you can imagine the writer as a student is different from the author as a professor, or the author maybe the school, the dean or the head of school. So the authoritativeness is very important, so they know what is the person who read this article, what is his role in life, in his expertise. So it's important because we have to make clear the author. Yes, I just want to explain it in simple way. And also we can use a reliable source from the internet. We have to consider the good and bad effects when using the source URL. We can lose the link choose, but if the benefits from using the source URL is more than losing some link choose, we should use it sometime. So the trustworthiness. What is trustworthiness? Trustworthiness is all of these elements contribute to this trust. So what writer should do is to use credible and official sources, verify facts, avoid assumption, write clearly and avoid exaggeration, be transparent about the authorship and context, keep information accurate and up to date. All of these factors, expertise, experience, authoritativeness, contribute to trustworthiness. And this outer box is what I will implement on our website. We will create a page dedicated to the author. We list all of the author with his or her information, her career or her name, everything from the author. And we internal link from this page to all of the blogs from that author. That will contribute to strengthen our EEAT signal. And also photo, of course. Okay, so what do and don't do for EEAT? We show real experience. We name real people and roles, credible sources, who said it, where it comes from, attribute information clearly, and mention both benefits and challenges. We don't make absolute claims that vary by school. Don't summarize other article without adding original source. Don't hide who wrote the article or the background. Don't use outdated information. Don't write only for keyword instead of real parent question. Yes, so the final key takeaway. All of this on-page optimization is essential, not optional. Writing good content alone does not guarantee ranking. On-page SEO helps search engine understand page topic and intent. Clear structure improves both SEO and user experience. Internal linking strengthens topic relevance and page authority. And finally, EEAT, as I just talked. So that's the end. This is some FAQ for you to understand more. Is good writing enough without on-page SEO? No, good writing alone is not enough. Even we have well-written content, still need the clear structure, proper heading, internal linking, etc. So search engine can understand the topic. Also the user can scan and skim and save the time. How many keywords should one page target? Only one keyword. This I talked about already. When should on-page optimization be done? It should be done after the draft is written, and always redo. In some period of time, I will revisit the page every page content, group of page audit, and for example, I change the year. If 2025 change to 2026, I have to change to all of it to 26. After publishing an article, I will have to always revisit from time to time, like 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, and and revise it. It's the very standard progress. Can EEAT be applied to informational content, not just expert article? Yes, EEAT applies to all our pages. So thank you. That's all. You have any question?
Tony, I would just say this is incredibly helpful. So it's very clear and very well thought out. So I appreciate that. One of the questions I have is just talking about expertise a little bit.
Yep.
We all have like little short bios about, our backgrounds and so on. Some of them are sort of vague in content, and some are, have colleges or universities listed or prior, workplaces. I'm curious what your thoughts are in terms of sort of how specific do we get in that information?
Yeah, there is a very good example of this outer box from the best school website. So there are page that show information of this author. This is not the dedicated page, but the beginning of this article. There's some information about this person, and they also have the editorial process here. See?
Yeah.
Here, you see the editor, managing editor, writer, and commitment to editorial integrity. They have very dedicated page for all of the author and the process of writing. It's very transparent, and this is good practice.
So just to further my question, so look at Allison's thing. It says been working in educational nonprofit. Is it better to have the names of those nonprofit? Like, does that help with search results or something? Like, so and so went to Harvard, or so and so worked at Andover, or so on. Like, does that help, or is it better to just say 25 years of experience in independent education, or is it better to say, so and so graduated from this? Does that give more credence?
I think as much detail as we can add, but I think no need to be like too details, but we need to have like general information of the author and the editorial progress.
Okay.
Yeah, like this.
The other thing is in terms of like create trust or some authority kind of a feeling stuff. So would it be helpful if we can have like a few invited kind of a contributor, maybe from school, maybe formal or current something, because some of the admission people that we know, maybe if they have some cycle they may want to write about it, certain topics, will that actually help, or it doesn't really matter this much?
Yeah, it will help much, as many as we can. We can have, but we have to make clear who will be the editor, who will be the writer, who the specialist.
Well, I think my understanding will be, some of the school, maybe they will certainly be the original
They have this
writer,
page. You see,
and they have some
contributor.
contributor coming from outside, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
The editor, the reviewer, the writer, and also the LinkedIn profile.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, yeah, we can think about how we can expand it, our contributor list to a little bit further because um, because James, that you have a couple experience that working with some school for some presentations, in the past, or maybe there could be some maybe once a year. I mean, we're not asking like doing many times a year. Maybe once a year, we can pick one or two schools to see if they want to contribute something. Just write up an article and certain topics, then we can certainly edit that. Some thoughts that I think it maybe was exploring a little bit here.
My question is that because like we have a very strict process to produce blog post. Um, let's say usually Tony is going to give us a very detailed structure of the blog post, which is like awesome because like I use that very much in my writing, and even though that's it's collecting informations and stuff. But given that with that kind of structure, the blog post would be something around like 3,000 words. Would it be possible for us to ask some schools administrators, like officials, to write that much? Because for example, if we want Jeff from Choate to write something around 3,000 word, so the post is going to be put under his name. But if he doesn't have time, or he like just imagine that he's going to give some chunks of that. For example, like half of the post, do we put it under his name, or like do we have another routine for those like outsider writers, if you know what I mean?
You asking me?
I'm asking like the whole team. I mean, like for example, if we're asking like Jeff from Choate to write a 3,000 words blog post, I'm not really sure if he's going to write the whole thing.
But I don't think I mean, he has time for this 3,000. I mean, this could be case by case, right? I mean, we're asking school that could be something that had to be shorter and have be really kind of a well outlined. You don't want to give them like a very general topic, and I don't know what they're going to come out of it. It could be something, based on discussion with them and give them, a little more time to top of their interest, and certainly give them a kind of outline that they can follow, because I don't think they would like the idea, when we returned it, the second version and a lot of things has changed, right? I mean, we certainly don't want to minimize the changes. That means we have to give them a bit more specific, shorter versions. If that's still okay with in terms of SEO guideline, I mean, we have to do 3,000. And I mean, probably that could mean dead end for this type of collaboration. I don't think they have any time for 3,000 in kind of blogs.
Or they can contribute like some paragraph is okay, I think.
Oh,
But in terms of
could be
like
another paragraph.
in terms of having them to be included in a few paragraphs, so how do I put Jeff sorry, I forgot his name, but like what Jeff is that? Jeff Beaton, for example. So if Jeff Beaton is right, like 2 paragraphs for me, three paragraphs for me, it's not going to make him an author of that blog article. So it's
No,
going to be a little bit different.
Yeah, it will be certain part of it from him, using
Yeah.
his title, name, and then part of it, kind of a quotes or testimony or some sections, Or it
Yeah.
could be something like, could be co-authored, right?
Yeah.
By James and Jeff, right? Something like that. So we could be a little more creative and a little bit more flexible if we do want to work with some schools in order to use the name and boost our kind of branding and SEO, trust and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Okay, Cool. Great. I don't have any questions, but thanks very much, Tony. I appreciate what you have. I think you presented, and yeah, we don't have time to go over some title meta research that you, me, and Lee have recently conducted, but I think it was very helpful. I think yeah, we're looking forward to implementing
Yeah,
and see if we can optimize our CTR in our rankings.
yeah. And
Okay.
yeah, this is a very good example of this EEAT pages, I think.
Okay, send it out. I mean, if you can send it out, and the team on the call will have some ideas what the kind of the good sample of the blog structure will be. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So you have any question?
No, I don't have any question.
Okay. So
Can I
that's
have one? I have one last question.
yep.
So, as a group or as a group of authors, are we better to have like sort of a set format? Like you know, this is always. I mean, what you're giving us are really succinct guidelines, which I really appreciate. But I'm thinking like we're going to create formal articles about groups of schools, right? Are we better to create sort of like a master outline, like okay, all four of these are going to fit into this rubric or this format, right? We're going to have this picture goes here. This is that a better sort of style as we get started with the next set of these, or is it does SEO care if everything sort of looks the same, feels the same, or does that not really as important? Does that I'm not sure I'm making it much sense. Does that make sense?
You mean the photo?
Well, I'm thinking of like the style, right? So should every I'm just thinking, so in the next 2 months, 3 months, right, we're going to be working with in partnership with a whole group of schools, probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 to 50 schools. We're helping to submit articles, photos,
Mm. Ah,
content for us and so on. Is there like a form or something that, I guess what I'm asking is at the end of the day, should all four of those look pretty much the same,
yeah, yeah. I
right?
think so. We should keep our tone and our writing style consistent. But in terms of like outsider writers from school, we can have their words, their style. But we have to keep like uh, so, something ours, something from them.
Yeah, no, I get, yeah, yeah, I'm good on that. And you did a nice job explaining to me earlier on about like not having people put in a lot of superlatives, and that was redone here. I guess what I'm just thinking, and maybe I'll send you an email offline on this, is like, is there a way that benefits them and us in terms of collecting this data and then preparing the data to be shared in an article, as
Uh,
opposed to sort of creating the article and then tweaking it to fit a lot of the criteria, right? And
uh,
so. I'm just trying to think ahead of time of how to best put all this into play,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? For
I
me, it's
think
either gather the data, write the article, and then try to create it in this form, or create the form and then get the data and put it into it, right? To me, it's one or the other. Just my style. I'm not sure it's anybody else's.
yeah, yeah. I think it makes sense. I think we should create like some guidance, some
Yeah,
instruction in
yeah,
yeah, and we should create like um, some standard form, and they can input the form or something like that.
that's
So
right.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, maybe you and I can work on it together.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yes. So you have any question?
No, I don't have any further questions. Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
good.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So thank you everybody spending your time on this. I hope it can help you understand more about SEO.
Yeah, it's very helpful, Tony. Thank you.